Hello YouTube, this is a tutorial series on how to make a Minecraft server. This is the Mac version, so if you're looking for the Windows, you're definitely going to want to go over to my Windows tutorial. I'll put a link in the description for that. The first few tutorials are going to be like this. They're going to be separated, one for Mac, one for Windows, just because the initial setup is different. But then after that, I'll make each tutorial will be for both Mac and Windows because they're just so similar. Alright, so we are going to start out by creating a new folder, and then I'm going to name this server. You can name it whatever you want. This is just where you're going to store all your server files. Alright, I'll put a link to this in the description, but we will go to this website, and then we will scroll down and click download for this software called Auto Bucket Server. It's basically going to create the server for us, which is kind of nice. It says there's a problem, just give it a few seconds. It might say that, it might not. And then once it appears, we'll click download. And as you see, it's right here in our download window. And now we just click it and open it. And we can click open, so fine. Start. We need to click the place where we're going to put all the files, and we already made this server right here. I'm going to go back to desktop so I can get to that, and we'll choose this, and we'll put all of our server files in there. For this, go over to your Apple thing, and then click About This Mac. The number right here, put that in, the 2. So mine's 2, I'm going to leave it as 2. You definitely want to have that as high, you want to have it that number that's right there. No more. You could put it less, but just put it at that number. Alright. So we're going to click Dev or Development. That just basically, it'll make your Minecraft server the most recent version of Minecraft. So at the time of this video, 1.4.7 is out. So my server is going to be for 1.4.7. And at the end of this tutorial, I am going to explain how to update your Minecraft server. Alright, so we'll just let this download right here. My next tutorial is going to be on something called port forwarding. That's basically how you figure out the IP address of your server and therefore the one that you give to your friends. You have to go through this process in order to actually let other people to connect to your server. But I'll explain that all in the next tutorial. For now, just wait till this finishes downloading. Alright, should be done. Alright, so we will click manual. I'll put my Minecraft name in. This is just because it's going to opt that username. And then it's going to bring up this right here. And we can just click cancel. That doesn't matter. Alright. So right now, basically what it's doing is it's generating the world. This is similar to in single player when you make a new world, it'll say generating terrain. That's all it's doing right now. This is going to take a bit because it has to prepare all the starting chunks and everything. And it's doing it again right now because it's probably generating the end world or the nether world. So we'll just give this a second. Alright, this should come up. And then once this is finished, as you can see it says done, it tells you the amount of time that it took to do it, to load it. We are going to type stop, no slash, you do not use a slash for commands in the console. So type stop and hit enter. Always do this in order to stop your server. Never just exit out of this, ever. That'll destroy your server if you do that. Alright, now we can exit out of it. Now this says the process is complete. Alright, so we're going to go back into our server folder, and then there'll be this craft bucket folder. And we'll see there's all these different files right here. You can just ignore all these. The only important ones are the banned IPs. It just is a list of IPs that are banned. Banned players, a list of players that are banned. Ops, the list of players who are operator. Operator just allows them basically to have all the commands of the server. Whitelist, this is if you only want to allow certain people to connect to your server. If so, you'll need to type their names in. So say I only want me to be able to connect to the server. I'll put my name in there. Now the file we're going to actually edit is the server.properties. So we will allow another. We can just leave that as true. Level name, ignore that. Enable query, ignore that. Allow flight. If you have this set to true, players can fly around all they want and they won't get kicked. So I recommend leaving it as false. Ignore this. Ignore this. The level type just means if it's a flat world or if it's large biomes. Enable Archon. Ignore that. Level seed. Ignore that. SKYPE. Ignore that. Max build height. Ignore that. Spawn NPCs is if you want villagers to spawn or not. So I have it's true right now, which means they can spawn. Whitelist, in order to make it so that only the people on that list, this whitelist.text, and only people can join on that list, you have to set whitelist is equal to true. So I'll have that in true. Spawn animals, they will leave that as true so that they can spawn. Snooper enable, just leave this as true. It gives feedback to the people who made Minecraft, basically. Hardcore, leave this on false. Texture pack, just leave it. Okay, so online mode. Alright, so when you have online mode equal to true, this means that only premium players can join. When you have it set to false, this means that only the cracked players can join. Alright, so you can see I just wrote this out so you guys can all see that. You don't get confused. Okay, so premium people are the people who have actually paid for Minecraft. Cracked are the people who did not pay for Minecraft, or the people who just like went on YouTube and found a free download of Minecraft. Maybe like Minecraft SP or something like that, which is actually what I'm using. So I want to allow cracked people and premium people to join, or in other words, I want to allow the people who didn't pay for Minecraft to join my server. So I'll leave this to false. If I only want people who pay for Minecraft to join, I can leave this as true. But since I'm cracked and I'm going to join the server, I'm going to leave that as false. PvP, if you want to allow players to hit each other, I'm going to say true. Difficulty, ignore that. Well, difficulty is just if the server's on peaceful or easy. Peaceful would be 0, so I'll go ahead and put it on peaceful so nothing will spawn. Game mode, leave this on 0. Survival, if you want to make your server a creative server, in other words, like when a new player joins, they will be in creative mode, you can change this to 1, but I'm going to leave it at 0 for survival. Max players, we can just leave that as 20. Spawn monsters, pretty self-explanatory, if monsters will spawn, leave it as true. Generator structures, just leave this on true. It allows like villages and stuff to spawn. View distance, ignore that. And the message of the day, this right here, you can see there's this server IP right in the server message of the day right here. This is what's gonna be right there. So I'll make it the YouTube server. It doesn't matter what you make it. The YouTube server. So now we're gonna go ahead and save this. Exit out of it. We can double click on this. Oh, you know what? First, right click or hit or hold Control and then click. Then we can go to open with and text edit. Don't hit open. You have to have open with and then text edit. Go ahead and delete this -o space true and save it. And then double click the start server command. Alright, we'll wait till this is downloading. It should not take as long as it did before because we didn't actually have to prepare the world. Alright, as you can see, it's done. Now we're going to actually connect to the server. So we'll direct connect. The server address, just type in localhost for now. So we'll join the server. And we can see that I have joined. And I'm right here. And I am stuck in a block. But, so yeah, this is basically all you need to know for the first tutorial. This is just setting up the server. And again, you know, a lot of the servers, they'll you'll go on, there'll be all this fancy stuff, and you can type all these commands, like warp around all the factions and all that kind of stuff. I will get to that in other tutorials, just for the sake of time. If you just want to make a quick tutorial or a quick server for your, maybe if you want a brother or sister to play on, or just some friends or something, you don't really need to get into all the technical stuff. This is all you need to do. Alright, so that's basically it. So I'll just exit out, and then always make sure when you stop your server to type stop. Never exit out. It'll just mess up your server. Okay, so now, real quick, I'm gonna just go over how to update your server. So you go to something called Bucket Forums. You just type in Bucket up here, and then there'll be that website right there. The updates will be right here. This isn't an update. We'll just scroll down once it's loaded. Alright. And we'll see, okay, right here. Craft Bucket 1.4.7-R1.0 is now available. So, say my server was 1.4.5 right now. I would need to update it, so I can go ahead and click on this. And we'll see it says download Craft Bucket 1.4.7. So we'll go ahead and click that and download it. And at the time that you're watching this video, it could be anything. If it was 1.4.8 or 1.5 or 1.6 or whatever it is, you would just click on that download. It'd be right here. The first one that it actually says, and it's the Craft Bucket thing is available. You click on that, and then it would have a download link to it. Alright, so we'll just let this finish downloading, and in the meantime, just open up your server folder. And by the way, this is where all these documents are. This is called your server's root, in case I ever use that term. It's a server's root. Alright, so we have this, it's almost finished. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and we will drag this into our server root. Let's get rid of that, we don't need that anymore. Alright, we're going to get rid of this craftbucket.jar. Go ahead and just pull it on your desktop. I don't suggest actually putting it in your trash or deleting it, because if something doesn't work, if players can't join or something bad happens, you won't have anything to go back to. So I always recommend keeping the version right here. Anyways, I'll go to more info, and you rename this to craftbucket.jar. You erase all this other random numbers and stuff. Just leave it as craftbucket.jar. Alright. So now we're gonna go ahead. I could start the server again, and if this was a new version, it would say updating your server, but it's not a new version, so it's not actually going to say that. Anyways, that's just how you update your server. It's pretty simple. Not much to know about that. I'm going to just go ahead and delete this because it's the same file anyways. Alright, so that's about it for this tutorial, and you're definitely going to want to check out the next tutorial. You have to do it if you want to have your friends to be able to join your server. And then after that, it's just extra stuff that you really don't need to have. Alright, see y'all later.